Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Premier, I refer to the government's announcement this week that a key priority this year will be dealing with juvenile crime in regional communities, particularly in the Kimberley and Pilbara. And I ask, with many Carnarvon community members also living in fear and desperate for respite from repeated break-ins, burglaries, carjackings and financial losses and damage to their property, mirroring the situation in the Kimberley and Pilbara, when will your government deal with the juvenile crime in Carnarvon?
The Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Obviously, the government is doing a range of things to deal with these issues, particularly across regional Western Australia, and they are difficult, complex social issues, often with a long history behind them. So we announced, when we announced it on Tuesday, what we're doing, I said that our response was around the Kimberley, Pilbara and other regions of Western Australia. So we'll be looking at what can be done across all regions, across Western Australia, where there are these issues that are occurring. In the case of the Kimberley, there's currently a major police operation going on because, in particular, around these issues of juveniles taking or stealing cars and then driving them at police vehicles, which is clearly and totally unacceptable. And so police are seeking to intervene there to do what they can to stop this sort of thing occurring. The fact that there's been at least 4 police officers hospitalised because of this practice is just not acceptable to anyone in Western Australia. But the approach is far broader than that, and we're also going to implement the Target 120 initiative up there, which is about intervention in families. Its name implies something different to what it actually is. It's an intervention program for families to assist them in raising children, then fund relevant programs that might assist in diverting children, and then look to an on-country sentencing option, which doesn't involve children from regional Western Australia going to Banksia Hill if that can be avoided. So a comprehensive array of initiatives, but we are, as I said, looking at what can be done, not just in the Kimberley, but across regional WA.
A supplementary question.
Premier, given this issue related to juvenile crime and antisocial behaviour has been brought to the attention of government for many, many months, why has it taken so long for your government to acknowledge the enormity of this crisis, and when will they acknowledge the crime crisis in Carnarvon?
The Premier.
Madam Speaker, I think it was year before last, it was in 2020, we announced a significant recruitment program for police in Western Australia, biggest one in history actually, and around 1,100 police officers, of which I think 570 or thereabouts have already been recruited, and a whole range of those are being sort of posted, if you like, to parts of Western Australia where they're needed. So obviously, in terms of providing additional resourcing for our police to deal with these matters, the government has acted already. And then in relation to a range of other programs, particularly in Department of Communities and Public Housing, in social programs, in intervention programs, in the Target 120 program, even things like funding the PCYC properly. The government has acted on all of those things. PCYC was on its knees when we arrived in office. Not only have we invested in capital, we've invested significantly in providing additional recurrent funding for that organisation. And there's a whole range of these sorts of things that are out there. And I might add, I went to Carnarvon, I opened the new PCYC in the heart of Carnarvon when I was there to provide additional support for children in Carnarvon. And so that's the sort of thing that the government is doing to ensure that we provide appropriate support across regional WA.